Hello. Anup sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you are host. You have entire control of the team, and what you can do, like you can make a co-host to the assigned scholars,
Okay.
and you can make a co-host to Neha ma'am also. And because sir is already co-host, I already made. So after some time we can start this.
DNA Kumar, I have made this DNA.
Okay, fine. Vinal Kumar. Okay.
And Saheb God. That name is not visible here. Saheb God, are you there?
So they can't unmute. They can't. They can only write in the meeting chat.
Okay, right, sir.
Okay, we have done different settings. So participant cannot unmute and speak. They can only reply in the meeting chat.
Only reply in the meeting.
And yeah, if you want interactions with the participants, you can allow to the participant to unmute from your, or you can permit them.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. But he is available here, and the Sahib God is available here. You can make him co-host.
Sahib God. Yes, sir.
21 PhD 7008.
Yeah, yeah. I made him co-host.
Yeah. So now they both can make a. Now they both can invite, like admit all the participants those are in the waiting lobby, and they can reply to the participants query during the session.
Okay. Yeah. Fine, sir.
Okay, sir. So can I leave, sir? You can handle the session.
Yeah. You can leave, sir. You can leave, sir.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
మేము మీకు ఇప్పిస్తాము నేను తెలుసుకోవడానికి సిద్ధమైతే మళ్ళీ ప్రెస్
Hello. Hello. Dr. Anup ji. Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Can I share something? I am from Nepal.
Okay.
Program will be postponed or will be continued?
No, program is going to start. We are just going to start, sir.
Okay, I am waiting. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Vikas, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Yes, sir, we can start.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon to all the participants. Welcome to the next session of third 1 week international workshop on technical writing using LaTeX. This session is going to handle by Dr. Vikas Vishnu, sir. Is from, yeah, Dr. Vikas Vishnu, sir. Let me introduce him. Dr. Vikas Vishnu, sir, currently working as an assistant professor in School of Electronics Engineering, VIT AP University, Andhra Pradesh. He received his PhD degree from Birla Institute of Technology and Science, BITS Pilani, India in 2020. He received a B degree in Electronics and Applied Telecommunication Engineering from Savitribai Phule, Pune University, India in 2009. He obtained his ME in Communication Engineering from Dr. BMU University, India in 2013. His research area include design of reconfigurable antenna, antenna array, and metasurface inspired antennas. Sir is going to handle this session with the topic of Sir is going to handle the topic of overleaf explanation and document structure. I welcome you, sir. Dr. Vikas Vishnu, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Anup sir, for your introduction. So we welcome all the participants from India and outside India for the third 1 week international workshop on technical writing using LaTeX. So the agenda for the today's session is the introduction to the overleaf and document structure using LaTeX. So along with me in this session, Dr. Anup sir will be there, Dr. Neha madam, then B. Anil Kumar and Mr. Sahib Goda will be there for this session. So I will share the screen. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah, yes, sir. Visible.
Okay, thank you. So the agenda for this afternoon session is to understand how we can prepare the document using the LaTeX. We will be using the overleaf for this. So we will try to see how to use the overleaf for preparing the documents using the LaTeX. So basically, we are planning to cover this contents. We will see that what are the different types of article types are there in the LaTeX. Then what are the different packages we can use? What is the need of packages? That also we will see. The basic motivation is to understand how the document can be formatted. So we will focus on different text formatting methods in the LaTeX. we will see that how we can prepare the different lists such as order list and unordered list by using the itemize, enumerate different types we can prepare it. Then we will focus on how to create the sections and subsections in the LaTeX, then heading and subheading, how to create the paragraphs, how to control the properties associated with the paragraph, and how to create the chapters or table of contents. So overall idea is that we should able to properly prepare a document using the LaTeX. So this is the motivation for this session. So before starting the actual presentation, how we can do this in the LaTeX, before that, just for some brief time, 5 to 10 minutes, we will see some papers which are published in some of some standard journals, and we will try to see that how actually those papers are written in different styles. So first, this is the paper which is published in IEEE communication surveys and tutorials. And as you can see over here is that the volume number and all this information is mentioned over here. After that, the title of the paper is mentioned here, that is Internet of Things, a survey on enabling technologies, protocols, and applications. As you can see that the font of the title is different as compared with the text which is available in the paper. So the font is larger so that easily we can see the title of this paper. So below the title of this paper, the name of the authors are also mentioned over here, and along with their like membership for the standard organizations will be taken. So those memberships are also mentioned over here. Now the affiliation of those authors is mentioned in the left hand side over here, that the authors are working with the Department of Computer Science, Western Michigan University. Along with this, other details are also mentioned over here: when the manuscript is received, when it is revised, when it is accepted, and when it got published in the final version. So after this, what we can see is that abstract is mentioned over here. So the content which is available in the abstract, which is mentioned in the bold form. So you can see that the black color, dark black color is appearing over here. After the abstract, some index terms are mentioned here. So basically, index terms are nothing but the terms which basically captures the essence of the topic of document, or we can say that in general, these are the important terms which are appearing in this particular document. After the introduction, what we can see is that after the abstract, then after the index terms, the first section is started over here, and the first section is named it as introduction. And as you can see over here, the first letter, it is starting with the bold form. So this is the separate style which is followed by this particular journal. So first section is the introduction. So along with this, different sections will be defined. In the second, this is now a 2-column format. 1-column format will also be there. Some of the journals will follow the 1-column representation. This particular journal is following the 2-column representation. Then you can see that figure 1 is represented here, and this figure, a separate session will be there based on how you can create the figures and the graphs in the LaTeX, and how you can import those figures in the LaTeX. These different platforms also you can use dedicated softwares you can use to prepare the graphs and figures. Later on, you can include those graphs and figures in the LaTeX document. As you can see it over here, the figure is very nicely and clearly represented. What are the different domains are there for the IoT? So clear visualization is there from this particular figure. So after that, you can see that the first paragraph which is going to start here. The second paragraph is starting from here. So there is no indentation for this first paragraph. So the indentation is given from the second paragraph. Then here you can observe that this is the third paragraph, and the same indentation is used over here also. So indentation will remain constant throughout this document. So similarly, here you can see that a second section is mentioned over here, that is the market opportunity. After this, a third section is mentioned, that is IoT architecture, and all these sections names are appearing in the Roman letters. Here also you can see that some nice figures are prepared over here. In the separate session, you will understand it, how you can prepare these figures. So in the third section, as you can see that a subsection is created, and which is named as objects layer. So subsection, it is starting from the capital A. The first subsection is the objects layer. Second subsection is the object abstraction layer, then third subsection. So under the section, we are creating one more section. So therefore, these now subsections are numbered as capital A, B, C, and then D. Similarly, here later on, other sections are also created like IoT elements, and then subsections are mentioned over here. So different tables are also mentioned over here. According to the journal style, the tables we need to prepare it. So in the separate session, you will understand how to create the tables according to the journal style. So at the end of this paper, you can see that conclusion will be mentioned over here. So conclusion is a separate section, and after the conclusion, you will have the references which will be mentioned over here. So as you can see that all the references are coming in a proper sequence. So it starts from reference number 1 here, and those references also will be in proper sequence in the document also. So the total references are mentioned over here, and the document will be ended with the author's bibliography. Some of the journals required the author's bibliography. Some of the journals are not giving the author's detailed bibliography, just author's name and their affiliation will be mentioned. So now this is the IEEE Communication Surveys and Tutorial Journal, and this is the typical style is followed by this journal. Okay. So other journal also we will see. Now this is the IEEE Access Journal, and the title of the paper is Code Generation Using Machine Learning, a Systematic Review. As you can see it here is that this particular document style is different as compared with the previous journal that we have seen. You can see that the title of the paper is appearing in the color form here. The author's name is completely mentioned in the fully capital letters in the bold form. Affiliation is also mentioned over here. In the journal we have seen IEEE Communication Service, affiliation was not mentioned here. It was mentioned at the bottom, left bottom side. So abstract name also here, it is appearing in the color. All the sections and subsections name will be appearing in the color form, and the font is also different. So this depends on which particular journal you are going to submit your document, right? So we can control this by using the different class files. Each particular journal that will have the class files. Once we will add that class files in our particular folder, then automatically all your content will be followed in that particular style. Similarly, other journals also you can see it over here. For example, this is the MDPI censorship journal is there, and you can see that now here also the title font is different, the text format is different, and this is a basically one column representation. The two journals we have seen, in that the content was mentioned in the 2 column format, but here it is the total content is mentioned in the 1 column format. So it is using a different style. Here also you can see that the author has mentioned that the main contributions of our paper are as follows, and after that some points are mentioned, some specific points are mentioned in the bullet form. So in the today's particular lecture, we will try to see that how we can create this particular items in the LaTeX, how we can mention these particular specific points in the LaTeX document. Then if you consider the elsewhere journal, I have taken one paper from the elsewhere journal. Here also you can see that they are also following a different style over here. So the basic conclusion what we can say from this discussion is that the different journals and conferences, they will follow the different styles, and as we will finalize that in that particular journal, we are going to submit our paper. So we need to follow the guidelines of those particular journals. So this is also in the 2 column format representation. So throughout this workshop, you will also understand that how we can arrange the different figures or images, how we can arrange them side by side, or how we can arrange them different columns or different rows representation, how we can do that, how we can add the subfigures, right? So all these things we are going to understand in the rest of the workshop. Then this is also IEEE transactions on antennas and propagation. So this is also following one typical style. What we can just focus on here is that you can see that all the figures and all the graphs are very clearly represented. Means very clearly there is no need of zooming this particular document. In this particular view also we are able to see that what the authors has mentioned, means the size of that particular substrate is 100 by 150, means this is clearly visible to our eyes. We can clearly see it. For the graphs also, you can see that on the x-axis and y-axis, whatever the labels are used, whatever the values they have mentioned over here, so the font size is typically large, so that we can easily see those particular values on the x and y-axis. So the fonts which are used inside this particular graph document, that is also sufficiently large so that it will be clearly visible. So whenever we are preparing the documents for this journal submission, or whenever we are preparing the thesis, we need to properly consider these things also, right? Because the values and all labels should be very clearly, it should be visible. Here also you can see that the names which are actually mentioned inside this particular graph, those also are very clearly visible. Then the next point is that how you can include the equations in the LaTeX document. A separate session will be there on that. With that, you will have able to understand how you can include the mathematical equations in the LaTeX document. So the overall motivation for this lecture is basically how to prepare the document using the LaTeX, how to create the figures, tables, how to cite the references, how to prepare the mathematical equations, how to add figures and images in the LaTeX document, how to draw the graphs and add them in the LaTeX. That content will be covered in the different sessions. So similarly, what we can say is that as of now we are keeping our discussion just for the papers which are submitted to the different journals and conference proceedings, but LaTeX can be used to prepare the different reports, or we can prepare the posters, we can prepare the thesis in the LaTeX, or we can prepare the presentations also in the LaTeX. So preparing the presentation in the LaTeX has one advantage is that once you have prepared your document or paper in the LaTeX, that particular content easily you can use in your presentation also. Now we have seen that different journals are following different style. Their representations are different. So all these things will be taken care by the class file, which is known as the .cls file, and that particular files will be available on the journal website. You can go to the journal website, and from that you can download the template which will be available in the LaTeX form. You can use that template. So with this initial introduction, now we will see that how we can use the overleaf for preparing the LaTeX document. So now we are going to discuss about the overleaf. So here I will just so whenever you wanted to use the overleaf, you just go to overleaf.com, and you just need to log in over there. Okay, so when you will go to overleaf.com, right? So it will ask to log in. So login can be done by using your IEEE account. You can use your Google account, Twitter account, or Orchid ID also you can use for logging into Overleaf. So in the today's session,
Not visible to us.
Screen is frozen.
The screen is frozen.
okay, I will share it once again. Now it's visible, sir.
Visible, sir. Now your overlay page is visible.
Okay, thank you, sir. So you can first go to overleaf.com, and then it will ask you to log in into Overleaf. Either you can use your IEEE account, Google account, your Twitter account, or Orchid ID. You can use it. So with my email ID, I will log into this Overleaf account over here, and then you can click on this new project over here. I am calling this as suppose document over here, document, and I am clicking on this create here. So with this now, basically one document is now getting created here, and by default now Overleaf is giving one specific document to us by using some specific class and package. It is giving one document to us, right? So now Overleaf is basically the online LaTeX editor. Okay, so there is basically no need of installing any compilers and editors. If you don't want to install it in your system, you can use this online LaTeX editor, which is the Overleaf. So Overleaf has different advantages. Basically, it is a user-friendly environment, and it is widely used platform. As you can see over here in this Overleaf page, there are different panes are used over here. Means this is the left pane, then this is the middle pane, and this is the right pane over here.
Because sir, sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Yes, sir.
The sound level is little less, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's okay, sir.
Yeah, now it is okay, sir.
Okay. So as you can see it over here, that different windows you can see in the Overleaf document over here. So different panes are available. Like this, you can call it as a left pane over here. This is the middle pane here, and this is the right pane here. So the document which is created in this Overleaf, now it is represented as .text document. So it is a LaTeX document, and the name of the file it is given as main.text. And here some options are available. With the help of these options, you can rename this particular file also. Means so that you will able to easily remember it. You can rename it, you can delete it. So different options are available here. So here also we can include different class files. We will see that how we can include the different class files over here. Then this is the middle pane over here. So all the LaTeX code will be written in this particular middle pane here. So Overleaf basically provides the basic document structure. Whatever the document structure now we are able to see over here, this is the document structure by default provided by the Overleaf. And as you can see, there is no need of basic packages and syntax in the Overleaf. As of when some packages are required, we will add those packages in the document. So every time whenever we will save the code, and here one option will come, that is a recompile. So with the help of this recompile option, we will compile the LaTeX code which is written in the middle pane, and then we will see the output in the PDF form. So the generated output you will able to see it over here. So it is basically advantageous because we are able to see the LaTeX code also on this side, and on the right hand side we can see the generated PDF. So here we can write the code over here. We can compile it, and then we can see the generated output over here. So now there are different options are also. Once we will once we will create our document over here, so you can see that the title is mentioned over here, document. Then owner, if you just log in, your name will appear here. Then you can see that when it is last modified and what are the actions you need to take over here. So all these details are appearing here. So I will just click on this document once again. Along with this now different options are also available over here. In the output PDF window, different options will be available. Either you can zoom it, or you can zoom in, or you can zoom out, so that you can properly see the contents in the PDF document with these options. Along with this now, there are some options you can see it over here, which are available over here. The first option is the share option, share project. If you just click on over here, if I wanted to share this Overleaf document with some other person, then I can just include their email ID over here, and I can click it over here, that share, and I can just make this available, whether they can edit it or it will be only read only document. So then I can share it, so that particular person will able to see this Overleaf document, and both can be worked in the collaboration. Means whatever the changes will be done by that person, I can see those changes in my document. So basically for the collaboration, it will be easy. Along with this now, you can see that submit option is there. Means directly by clicking on this, you can see that a standard list has been prepared by the Overleaf. Like some of the journal standard templates are available. So if you wanted to submit the papers to that particular journals, then directly you can click it over here, submit as a template. So whatever the content now you wanted to prepare, so it will be prepared according to that particular journal list. So a lot of journal styles are available over here. Based on your requirement, you can use that particular style over here. History button is there. By clicking on this, you can see that how overleaf you have used over the period of time. You can see it over here. After this, chat option is available. Means if you wanted to chat with your collaborators, then you can do it over here. You can type some message over here, and your collaborator will able to see that message. Then layout option is also available here. Layout means how you will able to see the overleaf window. Now we can see that we are able to see the like a coding window where we are able to write our code. Then another is the output window where we are able to see the generated PDF document here. If you wanted to see only the document on which we are writing our code, that you can do. If you wanted to see only the PDF, that also you can do. If you wanted to open the PDF in a separate tab, that also you can do. So here you can see that under the layout option, you can see that editor only. If you wanted to hide the PDF, you can do that. So now the PDF got hide over here. Just if you wanted to see the PDF in the separate tab, you can do that. So you can see that the PDF is now getting appeared in the separate tab over here. As of now, we will see that editor and PDF both we wanted to see it over here. So these are some of the options are available over here. If you just go to this right hand side, left hand side corner, some more options are available over here. If you just go to this source option over here, means if you wanted to download this source code, whatever the code we have prepared over here in the LaTeX document, if you wanted to download that code, you can do that. So source code you can download over here. Then copy project is there. Then word count, how much is the word count? So all you can see it over here. So along with this, now sync option is also available. Means if you wanted to synchronize this particular document with the Dropbox, that you can do. If you wanted to synchronize this with the GitHub, that also you can do it over here. Then which compiler we wanted to use. So mostly PDF LaTeX is recommended to use. So here also it is mentioned that compiler you can use at PDF LaTeX, and other options are also given over here. Then dictionary is on, means it will be automatically will be able to clear some spelling errors are there. It will able to clear it. So these are the options which are available in the menu. Along with this, now you can see that different templates will also be available in the LaTeX document. So we will see that what are the templates we can see it over here. So if you click on this templates option over here, so here our document we have created. So that document is appearing over here, and here one option is there, that is the templates. So if you click on these templates, you can see that different options are coming over here. The first is nothing but the academic journal, then bibliography, then book, calendar. If you wanted to prepare your CV, a separate session will be there on how you can prepare the CV. So you can see that here also that template is available. If you wanted to prepare a formal letter, that template is available. If you wanted to create an assignment, then newsletter, posters, presentation, lab report, or if you wanted to write your thesis. So all these templates are available over here. Just what you need to do is that you just click on this option over here, that is academic journal. If you click on this option, that is academic journal over here, then you can see that different journal templates, you can see it over here. As of now, suppose I will click on any of the journal option over here. So you can see that this is Association for Computing Machinery, ACM. Then you can see the different options are available here, whether you wanted to open it as a template, whether you wanted to open it as a source, or you wanted to see the PDF document. So all these options are available over here. So you can use it like if you wanted to write your data, write your document in the book form, you can do it. So now with this initial introduction, how to use the overleaf for creating the document using the LaTeX, we will now proceed further, and we will see that how you can create beautiful documents using the LaTeX. So once again, we will go back to our presentation. Okay, so basically the question is that why we wanted to use the LaTeX. So LaTeX basically makes the beautiful documents, especially whenever we are writing the mathematical equations. So for that purpose, you can use it. It was created by scientists. For the scientist, a large and active community is there for accessing the LaTeX documents. For an example, Share LaTeX forum is there, where if you wanted to have some queries or some issues are there, you can post your questions on that forum, so that people who are actually using the LaTeX, they can respond to your queries and respond to your questions, so that you will able to solve those particular problems in your document. So a large and active community is available for the LaTeX. Then it is powerful and you can extend it. Means you can use the LaTeX for preparing your documents, writing your papers, your presentations, preparing your reports, then thesis, spreadsheets. There are many more things are there that you can do by using the LaTeX. So how does it work? So you write your document in the plain text with certain commands. So commands are now going to play important role in the LaTeX. So we need to write certain commands that describe its structure and meaning. So certain commands we need to use every time whenever you wanted to we wanted to add certain content in your document. So the LaTeX program processes your text and commands to produce a beautifully formatted document. So if you wanted to create a document in the LaTeX, so initially what we will do, we will create a very simple document in the LaTeX. Okay, so we will start.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
Due to the bit closer your mic near the mouth, some sound disturbance is coming.
Okay.
Participants are reporting.
Okay. Sir.
Yeah.
So initially we will see that how we can create the document in the LaTeX, right? So this is the first exercise we will do. So inside this, we will see the content as initially we will see the introduction, then the preamble, what is the meaning of preamble of a document, then displaying the title of your document, how you can display the title of your document, then how to deal with the basic formatting. If you wanted to deal with the abstract paragraphs and new lines, if you wanted to define certain comments, how you can deal with that. So this content now we will see it. So now initially we are going to create a minimal LaTeX document, a very simple LaTeX document we are going to create, and whatever the commands we need to mention for that purpose. So those commands are mentioned over here, right? So you can see that at the bottom we have mentioned some commands over here. So all the commands are now going to start with the backslash. Whenever you need to write a command in the LaTeX document, always you need to use a backslash. So the first command we have mentioned it as backslash document class, and in the curly braces we are mentioning it as article. What is this article, and whether we can use some different formats, we will see that we can use it. So every document is basically going to start with the document class command. Whenever you are starting to write your LaTeX code, every LaTeX code has to start by defining your document class. So here we are mentioning a standard document class, which is nothing but the article, and the name of that particular document class has been mentioned in the curly braces. So the argument in the curly braces tells LaTeX that what kind of document we are creating. So from this, now we are able to understand that we are creating an article over here. Then a percentage sign starts a comment. So here what we have done is that, so document backslash document class article, now that we have understood that we are basically creating a document which is nothing but an article. So that for that purpose, we have defined it as backslash document class article. After this, we are going to start with the command that is backslash begin document. Whenever we are mentioning this command over here, we need to also mention the command that is backslash end document. So now two commands we need to mention, that is backslash begin document. Another command is nothing but the backslash end document, and whatever the content we wanted to display in this document, that content will be appearing between the begin document and end document. That content will appear between these two, that is backslash begin document and backslash end document. So between this, now we have typed text as hello world, and after that, one percentage sign we are using it. So whenever you wanted to mention certain comments, so for that purpose, you can use a percentage sign over here. So what LaTeX will basically do is that LaTeX will ignore the rest of the line, which is including after the percentage sign. Okay, so whatever the content which is mentioned after the percentage sign, so that will be treated as a comment. So why this comment is important? Because as of now we are just writing a 4-line code, but whenever you are writing a thesis, whenever you are writing a papers, a very long code we need to write. So for that purpose, you can use the comment, so that easily you can understand that in each particular line for what purpose you are using that. Means for your identification, you can use different comments in the document. So hope so everyone has understood how we can create a simple document by using the LaTeX. For that purpose, now we have written a 4-line code over here. So the first line basically explains that this particular document is appearing in the article form. So therefore we are using / document class article. Then we are using the command as begin document, then end document, and whatever the content we wanted to mention on the document, that content has to be mentioned between these two lines, that is / begin document and end document. So what we can do, we can go to the overleaf, and everyone can try this. You can just go to the overleaf.com. You just log in by using IEEE account or Orchid ID or Google account also you can use, and you just create your one first project. That is one project you can create, and there we will see that how you can write this code and how we can see the generated output in the PDF form. So hope so everyone has understood it. And now we will go to the overleaf and try to see that how we can generate the output in the overleaf. So in the overleaf now, so overleaf here we created one document over here. You can just click on this new project, and one project name you need to mention, and just click it on create. So, and gives one name to that particular project. So I have already given the name as a document here. So I will click on this document here, and you can see that basically overleaf by default it will create this particular document over here. What we will do, we will erase this everything, and from scratch now we will try to write it. But the first basically command you need to use, you need to define the document class. And what basically overleaf is advantageous, because you can see that whenever I'm trying to write a new command over here, automatically overleaf is giving some suggestions which particular command you need to use, or whether you wanted to use a certain package over here. So I wanted to use the command over here, and that command is nothing but the document class. So I can just click it over here, and the command will be selected, that is document class. Again, now it is asking whether the document class now you are going to define whether it is article, or article means whenever we wanted to prepare a document, whether it is beamer means whenever you wanted to prepare the presentations, that time you can use the beamer. Whether it is a book or whether it is a letter, formal letter, suppose you are writing, you need to use the document class as letter. If you wanted to prepare the reports, then you need to specify the document class as report. As of now we are going to create a very simple document in the article form, so we will select the document class as article. So this is the first line now we have written in our LaTeX code. Now after this, what we will do, we wanted to display some content in this. So what we will do, we will write the command as begin, and here also you can see that overleaf is going to help us. Overleaf is directly giving the standard commands over here. So I can click on this begin document, and automatically the end document is also getting selected. So the document class, then begin document, and the end document, right? So whatever the content now you wanted to display in the article, or into the document, you can enter that particular content in between the begin document and end document. So what we can do is that whatever the content you wanted to display in the PDF form, you can write it over here. So we can mention is that this is the first document. first document. So now we have mentioned this. So you just save this and you compile it, and you can see it over here. Now the content is getting displayed over here. So whatever the content we have written over here, this is the first document, then full stop. All the content is getting displayed in the PDF window, right? So you can download this. Here one option is that download PDF. From menu also you can do that, or from this window also, output window also you can do it. So you can download this in the PDF form. Okay, so this is still some more content. If you want, you can do that. So we can mention that this is the simple document. This is the simple document we created using the LaTeX without using any packages. So you can see it over here. Whatever the content we have mentioned in the LaTeX code, it is getting displayed over here. If any spelling errors are there, you can create it. So you can see that underline is appearing over here. So you can just right click on this and you can clear it. So the correct spelling for the packages, it is appearing over here. Okay, so hope so everyone has been able to do it. So
Hello.
yes.
Sir, actually, I just want to ask you why you giving a space on the second row?
Not required. Without space also it will work, no problem. Just for like separation between the commands, for that purpose I added some space over there. Not required.
Okay, thank you.
Sir,
Yes. Any questions are there?
in my page it is coming in form of heading. Like in yours, it is coming like a paragraph, but in mine, it is coming like a heading.
Yes, we will see that. As of now, we have just created a very simple document using in the overleaf. We will see it in today's session only. We are going to see that how we can create different headings or how we can create different paragraphs. So hope so everyone has been able to do it. Yes.
Sir, I'm getting in the output window as a bold. The text is bold.
Is the same code you are using or any different code?
Same,
Maybe
sir,
some.
same, sir. Same, sir.
Please, participants,
The
whatever
begin tag one,
you
I
have, participants, whatever you have doubt, you just keep the screenshot here in the chat box, or you can ask your query. To our supporting faculty will help you directly. You cannot interrupt to the session or the person who is going to view the flow. So don't interrupt it there. You just keep it your doubt on your chat box.
Okay, so now we will go ahead with this. So hope so everyone has created the first document. Now we will go back to our presentation. Okay, so now this is the first document we created by using the LaTeX. So we started with the document class. We define it as article, then begin document, end document, and the content which we wanted to display, that content we included between these two commands. Now the input file is basically will appear as a .text file. In the overleaf also you can see that the name of the file is appearing as main.text. So it will contain code that the computer interprets to produce a PDF file. Now the first line of the code declares the type of the document. In this case, it is an article. Then between the begin document and end document tags, you must write the text of your document. So as already we have discussed it, whatever the content you wanted to display, that will be written between the begin document and the end document. Now we will proceed, as we have created a very simple document. Now slowly we will move towards the next points. Now the next is, what is the meaning of the preamble of a document? In the previous example, what we have seen is that the text was entered after the begin document command. What we have seen is that the text that we wanted to display in the output window, that was started after the command that is begin document. So whatever the content we wanted to display, that was entered between begin document and end document. Now the part of your .text file before this point is called as the preamble. So whatever the commands which are appearing before the command, that is begin document, that particular content, it is known as the preamble of a document. So in the preamble, you basically define the type of document you are writing, what kind of document you are dealing with, whether it is an article, whether it is a book, whether it is a presentation, whether it is a CV, whether it is a report. So that particular document class will be defined in the preamble of a document. Then what is the language type you are using? Then whether you wanted to load some extra packages are required for, suppose you are writing equations, inserting different images in the document. So certain packages has to be defined, or any other relevant parameters are there. So those particular parameters you need to define in the preamble of a document. Whatever the things you wanted to display in the LaTeX document content, it will be coming after the command that is begin document, but whether any certain packages are required or document class has to be mentioned, so that content has to be mentioned before the begin document command, and it is known as the preamble of a document. So now here you can see that one LaTeX code we have written over here. So you can see that we have written it as \document class. So in the initial example, what we have done, we have considered the document class as article here. But if you wanted to control the certain properties of this document, if you wanted to have the control on the certain parameters of this article, that also you can do it. For an example, in the now square brackets over here, you can see that 12 point is mentioned. Means whatever the text which will be appearing in this document, that will have the font size of 12 points. What is the point unit? That also we are going to see in the later slides. We will see it. Then the format of that particular paper, whether it is A4 paper, whether it is A3, so different formats are there. So this article will be basically consisting of the paper format as later paper. So now slightly we have modified the first line of this code, because we wanted to have the control on the document, the content which is going to display on the document. We wanted to have certain control on that. After that, we are using a certain package over here, use package UTF-8 input encoding. So it is basically the input encoding. We will see that what is the meaning of that. It is a standard recommended package whenever you are going to use the LaTeX for producing the documents. After this, we are mentioning the title of that particular document. In the initial discussion in today's presentation, we have seen that different papers we displayed. So every paper will have a certain title. Every document will have title. So therefore, here also we wanted to create one title for this document. So for that purpose, you need to define the command as /title. In the curly braces, we are mentioning the title of this document as first document. Now we wanted to mention the author name also, right? So for that purpose, you can use the command that is \author. In the curly braces, the author name you can mention your name. As of now, we are mentioning the name as XYZ. After this, we are using one more command, that is \thanks. In the curly brackets, we are mentioning as overlifting, because in the paper or any document, if you wanted to give acknowledgement to different sources, that also you can include in the document. As of now, we are using the command as /thanks, and we are using overlifting. We will see that how this will get displayed in your LaTeX document. We will see in the overlift. In the document now, if you wanted to display the date, that also you can do it. Some of the packages, some of the document class, by default, it will take the dates. If that particular class file is not taking the date by default, then you can use the command \date in the curly braces / you can write it as today. So whenever you will compile that code, then that particular day date will get displayed in the LaTeX document. So now whatever the content you are observing before the begin document, it is known as the preamble of a document. And whatever the content now we wanted to display in the document, that content we wanted to write in between begin document and end document, right? So hope so everyone has understood what is the meaning of preamble of a document. Preamble is basically we wanted to define the document class, whether it is article or whether it is book or report, that we will define in the document class. If you wanted to have to control the properties of the document, you can control it, those properties. Packages you can define, title of your document you can define over here. Author's name also can be defined, right? So these are the things we wanted to display in our document. So therefore, this particular content has been mentioned before the begin document. And whatever the content you wanted to display in the LaTeX document, that content should be included between the two lines, that is backslash begin document and the end document, right? So what we will do now, we will go to the overleaf. I will just copy this code over here and I will put in the chat also, so that you can use it, use this code in the overleaf. So I will use the same code and we will go to overleaf once again. Okay. So in the overleaf window, I will just paste in that particular content and I will just recompile over here. And after compiling, you will see the output window. So you can see that over here, the title of our document is nothing but the first document, and then the title is also getting displayed over here. The title is XYZ, and after that one marking, star marking, is coming over here because we have added one more term, that is one more command, that is thanks overleaf team. So that particular content, you can see that it is getting displayed at the left hand bottom side. It is getting displayed over here, right? So this is the complete document. It is appearing over here. All right. So if you wanted to add any content over here, you can do that. For an example, if I will just take some content from the Word file and I will try to add over here. Right, so I have just taken some random content from the paper, and as now you can see that all the content is getting displayed in this document. You can also do that. Any particular content you can include it between the two lines, that is begin document and the end document. One thing also you can observe over here is that if you wanted to display the title, you need to use the command that is nothing but the make title, right? So that command has to be placed after the begin document. You can use the command that is backslash make title. So that will help to generate the title for this document. So this is the simple, initially we generated a very simple document in the LaTeX. Slowly then we understood what is the meaning of preamble of a document, how to define the document class, how to define the packages, right? How we can define the title, how we can define the author name. If you wanted to acknowledge some particular agencies or resources, if you wanted to say acknowledgement to them, that also you can include in your document. If you wanted to display the date, that also you can do it. Then if you wanted to display the title, you wanted to use the command that is backslash make title. And the main point is that whatever the content we wanted to display in the document, that has to be included between the commands begin document and the end document. Okay, so now with this hope so everyone has been able to do it. With this now we will proceed further. Okay, so now we understood what is the meaning of preamble of a document. Now what we said is that a document class has to be the first command that we need to mention, right? And already we have defined the document class as article. So some additional parameters are mentioned inside the brackets and separated by comma. Those parameters has to be separated by comma. So in this example, what we have done is that the extra parameter send the font size to 12 point, and the paper size we are considering as the later paper. You can use A4 paper, A3, those also you can do it. You can also have the control on the font size. You can try it. Other font sizes also you can get it. If you wanted to have the 9 point, 11 point, 12 point, that also you can do. If you are not mentioning the font size, by default, the document class, according to the document class article, the font size of 10 points will be taken, right? So if you are not specifically mentioning it, then the default size is 10 points. So other possible values are also included. As of now, we are just mentioning that the paper is later paper. You can consider the paper as A4. You can also consider it as a legal paper. That also you can do. Now, till now we are using the document class as an article we are using. Now, suppose you wanted to submit your paper to the IEEE transactions in journal. If you wanted to submit the paper, then that has a separate document class you need to define. So you can see that here we are mentioning the document class as in the square brackets. We are mentioning that it is a journal, comma, and the document has to be prepared in the 2-column format. After that, in the curly braces, we are defining the class. It is IEEE tran. So it is a standard class prepared for whenever we are preparing the documents for the IEEE transactions. So it is a dedicated class has been prepared, and the file will be appearing as the .cls file. So .cls file is nothing but the class file. So you can have the control on the parameters. For an example, if you wanted to submit the paper to the conference, so what we can do, instead of journal, you can mention it here as conference. All the journals and conferences, they will provide the standard templates, right? So 2-column is mentioned here also. If you wanted to have the representation in 1-column format, that also you can do it. Instead of 2-column, you can mention it as 1 column. So now what we will do, we will take this document class, and we will try to mention in our overleaf document, which was earlier created by using the document class as an article. Now we will try to see that if we are using the IEEE tran, then how our document will look like. We will try to see it. So we will again go back to the overleaf. In the chat, I will put this command. So once again, we will go to the overleaf, and we will see that. So here, what we will do here, just we will change the document class over here. So the document class now I'm mentioning as, if for just simplification, I will delete some of the content over here. Okay, so now what we have done, we have just changed the document class to the IEEE tran. Okay, and 2 parameters we have added. It is the journal, and the representation should be in the 2 columns. So if you just recompile it, so you can see that now the output has been changed. Now initially we were using the document class as an article, so it was appearing in some different format, and now we are using in the IEEE tran, that class file we are using. So now it is appearing in that particular format. Right, so we can have the control on this representation. So document class is a very important command that has to be mentioned whenever you're starting to write your LaTeX code. Okay, so hope so everyone has understood what is the meaning, what is the significance of a document class, and how we can control it. Everyone understood, right? Next what we have seen is that, as of now, we have just mentioned that the document class as an IEEE tran. There are other document classes are also there. For an example, a proceeding. If you wanted to create the proceedings for that particular purpose, also you can mention a document class. If you wanted to prepare a report for books, slides, if you wanted to prepare the formal letters, if you wanted to prepare the beamer. Beamer is basically used for preparing the presentations. So whatever the document classes are there, that are mentioned in the color here. Okay, so these are the different classes you can use in the LaTeX document. So from this we can clearly understand that document class basically controls the properties of that particular document. So then what are the different options are available? Whenever you are writing the command as document class, in the square brackets, we have 2 options, option 1 comma option 2. So these can be used to control that what kind of paper we are using, or what kind of font size we need, what kind of representation we want, whether it is 1-column representation or whether it is 2-column representation. So we can have control on that. Here you can see that we are mentioning that 10 point, comma 11 point, 12 point. So basically it sets the font size of that particular document. If no option is mentioned, by default, it will take the font size as 10 point. Paper also, we have understood A4 paper, letter paper we can define. Then one command you can use, FLEQN, that you can use. So basically whatever the content you will prepare, that will be left aligned. So that can be done. So title page also you can define if you wanted to have the title page in your document. So title page basically specifies whether a new page should be started after the document title or not. The article class does not start a new page by default, while report and book do. So in case of documents, you can see that whenever we are using the document class as reports and books, so by default, whatever the content will be there after the title, by default, the content will start on the new page. But in the case of articles, it will not happen. After the title also, you can write your content. For the reports and books, it is a different scenario. Okay, so now we have mentioned that what are the different classes are there in the LaTeX document that we have understood now. Okay. So now in this particular code, we have mentioned one command, that is use package UTF-8 input encoding. So this is the encoding for the document to allow the characters beyond the ASCII. Any characters if you wanted to use which are beyond the ASCII, for that purpose we can use it. You can omit it or change to another encoding, but UTF-8 is recommended. Unless you specifically need another encoding, or if you're unsure about it, add this line to the preamble. So for safer side, always you can add this line, that is use package UTF-8 input encoding. You can use that. Now, what is the meaning of packages? Many times now we have mentioned this word packages. So packages plays important role whenever we are preparing the LaTeX document. So package is nothing but a file or collection of files containing the extra LaTeX commands and programming which add new styling features or modify those already existing. So if you wanted to specifically have control on the document, then certain packages has to be used. So to import a package in LaTeX, you simply add the command. You need to mention the command as \use package. In the curly braces, you need to add the name of that package. Okay, so this particular command has to be mentioned in the preamble of a document. Before the begin document, you need to define all the packages that you need. In a very simple way, what we can say is that whenever you wanted to add the figures, images, equations, tables in the document, then you need to have certain packages for that purpose. Slowly, when you will proceed throughout this workshop, you will understand what is the significance of packages. As of now, we are just saying that packages plays a very important role in the LaTeX, and where you can define it, you need to define in the preamble of a document. Means you need to define it before the begin document command. You need to define it. Then how to install a package? So when using Linux or Mac, most packages will already be installed by default, and it is usually not necessary to install them. The MIPTEX bundle in the Windows will download the package if you include it to your document. If you're including in your document, so what MIPTEX you will do, it will automatically download those particular packages. Why packages are important? Because packages are adding new functions in the LaTeX document, right? So simply you can see that whenever you wanted to add certain figure and image in the LaTeX document, so a certain package will be required for that purpose. So adding a figure, adding an equation in the document, it is a separate function. Now we wanted to do it. It is a separate thing we wanted to add in the document. So for that purpose, a specific package will be required for that purpose. So all the packages, as we have seen, that it must be included in the preamble. So packages add features such as support for pictures, then links and bibliography. So you can see that all the papers we need to mention at the end of your document, you need to mention the bibliography or references. So for that purpose, you need to use a separate package which is known as CITE package. You need to have that package, and you need to define that package into the preamble of your document. For an example, here it is mentioned that use package graphics. So this particular package allows to include the images in the LaTeX document. Maybe in the tomorrow's or day after tomorrow's session, you will able to see that what is the use of graphics package and how you can add the images in your document. So for that purpose, you need to use this package graphics. So the default formatting in LaTeX document is determined by the class used by that document. So whatever the default formatting is there in the LaTeX document, it will be handled by the class file. So class plays a very significant role. As we have seen that article class, we have seen IEEE tran class, transaction class also we have seen. So class plays a very important role how your document will be formatted. So this default look can be changed and more functionalities can be added by means of a package. If you wanted to have certain functionalities or certain things you wanted to do in your document, you need to have the packages. Now the class file names always will have the .cls extension, and the package file names have the .sty extension. So .cls means it defines the class, and .sty means it defines the style. So package will always have the .sty, that is style extension, and class will always have the .cls extension. So sometimes it becomes hard to make a decision when it comes to choose whether to write a package or a class. So the basic rule is that if your file contains commands that control the lookup, the logical structure of a special type of document, then it is a class. Otherwise, if your file adds certain features that are independent of the document, then you need to deal with the packages. For instance, if a company needs branded reports that use a special font and have the logo of the company in the footer, you need a new class for that purpose. If you wanted to have a special font requirement is there for that particular company, or if you wanted to display the company's logo into the footer, then for that purpose you need to have a separate new class. For that purpose, a new class has to be defined. If the company needs a new command that makes easier to highlight important sentences within a document, then a new package will work in this scenario. Means any document is there and that a specific portion we wanted to highlight in that, for that purpose a separate package you can define. So package will work in that case. But if you wanted to have the control on the font of that particular document, if you wanted to display the logos on the documents, then you need to define a separate class for that purpose. So hope so everyone has understood the significance of class and the packages, and hope so everyone has been able to differentiate between the class files and the packages. Now, what are the different packages are available? So just for an example, we have prepared some list over here. So you can see that huge package graphics. So graphics is a basically package because LaTeX will not able to manage the images by itself. LaTeX will not understand it. So for that purpose, we need to have some packages. So whenever you wanted to include the images, LaTeX will understand you're using the package graphics, means you need to insert certain images in the LaTeX document. So for that purpose, we need to have that package /use package, that is graphics. If you wanted to adjust the box content, if you wanted to have control on that, then you need to have the package that is use package adjust box. A separate session will be there on the algorithms, because basically in some of the papers we need to mention the algorithm in the paper itself, we need to define it. So how we can, because the algorithm has to be basically defined in a particular form, right? Basically it is a pseudocode. It is usually easily put in the algorithm environment. Pseudocode has to be represented in that form only. So for that purpose, we need to make use of a package that is nothing but the algorithm. Whenever you wanted to insert some equations in the LaTeX document, you need to use the package for that purpose. Appendix, if you wanted to create, for that purpose, generally different reports or thesis, they will have the appendix. Some of the papers also needs the appendix. For that or any abbreviations you wanted to create, for that purpose, you can use the package appendix. Now, for every figure or every image, you need to give certain caption. For that purpose, you need to use the package that is use package caption. Then cite is the package which is used for preparing the bibliography. The references will be appearing at the end of your report, end of your paper, the references will be appearing. For that purpose, you need to make use of the package that is cite. If you wanted to have the control on the color of the context which is appearing in the document, you need to use the package that is color. Then EPS to PDF is also required in some of the class files, because if you are preparing that file into the EPS form, you can convert into the PDF form, and that PDF file directly you can include in your LaTeX document. For that purpose, you need the package EPS to PDF. Then if you wanted to create the graphs in the LaTeX, LaTeX is the package that you can use for that purpose. Sub caption also you can use. Whenever you wanted to insert the tables in the LaTeX document, then you need to use the package that is tabular. So tabular is basically the environment that you are going to define, right? So that will basically help you to add the tables in the LaTeX document. If you wanted to have the control on the geometrical parameters of your document, then you need to define this package that is nothing but use package geometry. So as we will proceed throughout this workshop over here, that then you will understand why we are stressing on these packages, what is the significance of graphics, tabular, equations, cite, caption, then geometry, right? You will understand what is the significance of these packages. Now title also we have defined in our document. So it is very important to define title of your document. For that purpose, we have used the command /title, and we have defined the title in the curly braces. Date also we have mentioned, and author's name also we can mention the author's name. If you wanted to acknowledge some certain agencies or your working organization, you can do that. Now with this introduction, now we will see that how we can deal with the basic formatting in case of LaTeX, how we can create the abstract, how we can create the paragraphs, line breaks, page breaks, how we can have the control on the spacing. So these already are related with the basic formatting, right? So paragraph control we wanted to have, how we can create the different paragraphs in the LaTeX, how we can have the line breaks, page breaks, or the spacing, how we can adjust it. So now we are going to see all these things. So initially we will see that how we can create the abstract in the LaTeX document. So what we can do is that we will go to the overleaf now, and already we have created one document over there. You can see that we have created one document here. We have used the IEEE transaction class over here. The title of our document is the first document, author name is XYZ, that we have already mentioned. So now this is the content we have added between the begin document and the end document. Now, for example, if you wanted to insert the abstract in this particular document, so for that purpose, what we can do, we can use the command as a begin abstract. So you can see that whenever you are typing the begin, then the commands will appear. That is begin abstract, and automatically end abstract will also be there. So what I will do, I will just copy this content from here, and I will just insert this content here. So you can see that we have just put this content between begin abstract and the end abstract. If you just compile it, you can see that now abstract has been created for our document, and you can see that as per the class we have mentioned it as IEEE transaction class. So therefore the abstract is coming into the bold letters form. It is coming in the bold form, right? So this is the simple thing we can do to create the abstract in the LaTeX document. So what we need to do, you need to just mention the command as \begin abstract. So overleaf will help you in this case. If you just click on the begin abstract, automatically another command will also appear, that is end abstract. Whatever the content you wanted to include in the abstract, so that content you need to specify between the begin abstract and the end abstract, right? So hope so everyone has been able to do it. It is a very simple process. We have seen it for creating the abstract in the LaTeX document. Now if you wanted to have the control on the paragraphs, then how we can deal with the paragraphs in the LaTeX. So abstract, now we have understood a very simple thing, begin abstract, end abstract, and include the content between these two comments. Even though the default formatting in the LaTeX is fine, sometimes we need to change some elements, right? Because we need to have control on that. So we will see the introduction to this, how to start a new paragraph, how you can define a new paragraph, how you can do the paragraph indentation, how you can control the indentation of the paragraph. If you wanted to adjust the paragraph alignment, means whether it is alignment on the right hand side, whether it is alignment at the center, or it is left aligned, you can control it in the paragraph itself. So that is basically the text justification. You can control the paragraph spacing also, right? And we can control the lines which are appearing in the paragraph. So paragraph spacing between the paragraphs also we can control, and the lines which are mentioned in the paragraphs, that line spacing also we can control it. So therefore in the starting itself we mentioned that even though the class file will have certain default formatting in the LaTeX, we need to have the control on these parameters, so we can do it. So we will see that how we can create a separate paragraph, how we can control the paragraph indentation, how we can control the alignment, how we can control the paragraph spacing, and how we can have the control of the line spacing. So first of all, what we will do, we will go back to the overleaf, and we will see that how we can control how we can create the new paragraph. So there are different ways to create the paragraph in the LaTeX document. For example, if I just copy this content from here, and what I'm doing, I'm just putting one enter here and I'm adding this content. If I just compile it, you can see that automatically the IEEE transaction class, it has created one paragraph over here, right? And a particular indentation has also been coming in the document. Indentation means the spacing is already been defined as per the class file. IEEE transaction class file will have certain indentation will be defined in the class file. So that indentation is appearing over here for this paragraph. So paragraph can be created by different ways. One of the way is that you can add some blank line. I just put one enter over here. That blank line, if you just add it over here, whatever the content which will be appearing after that blank line, that will be appearing as the paragraph in the document, right? If you don't want to do that, a separate command is also there, \par. That also you can use it. That also creates a separate paragraph. Here also you can see that \pr command you can use. So with the help of that command, you will able to create a paragraph. That also will work. Now, if you wanted to have the control on the alignment of this paragraph, already we mentioned in the starting of our preamble, before the begin document, whatever the content is there, it is nothing but the preamble. In the preamble, already we said that whatever the document we are preparing, it is in the 2-column format. You can do it in the 1 column also. You just mention here it as 1 column, it will prepare in the 1 column format. As of now, we are very much interested in preparing the document in the 2-column format. So therefore we have mentioned 2 column. Now, if you wanted to have certain control on this paragraph, if you wanted to bring the content at the center of this, so for that purpose, what you can do is that just a command you can mention over here, that is begin center. Here the LaTeX overleaf is helping us that automatically the command is appearing here, begin center. If you just click on this, end center will also appear over here. So what I will do, I will just copy this content from here and I will add this content here. So you can see that we have added content between the paragraph is added between the commands begin center and end center. We have added that particular content, right? If you just recompile it, you can see the output over here. So you can see that all the content, it is now coming at the center in our document, right? So we have changed the properties of this paragraph now, right? Initially it was different. Now we have used the command \begin center and end center. So all the content is appearing in the center. So you can control the alignment also. It is possible to control for the LaTeX document. So first of all, we will go to our presentation. That we will see that how we can control it. So as we have mentioned is that to start a new paragraph in the LaTeX document, you must leave a blank line in between, right? So this is the one way to do it. There is another way to start a new paragraph, right? Adding a blank line will automatically create a paragraph. Another way is that you can mention a command, that is \par. You can define a command. So that also starts a new paragraph. By default, the paragraphs are indented by 1.5 times the point size of the current font. We also seen that a specific indentation is coming over there, so it is fixed. Also, there is no extra blank space inserted between the paragraphs. In the sections below is described how to change that. If you wanted to have the control on the spacing between the paragraphs, how we can do it. Now, as we mentioned that indentation, we wanted to have the control on the indentation of the paragraph. So for that purpose, what we can do, a simple command we can use, that is \set length, then curly braces, \paragraph indentation, and here specific units we are mentioning for EM. So what is this EM? In the next slides, we will try to see that what is the meaning of EM. It is a specific unit in the LaTeX. We will see that what is its meaning. As of now, we will just use this command in our overleaf. I will put this in our chat box also. I will put it there. So I'm just removing this begin center and end center, and I'm using the command as set length paragraph indentation for EM. I'm using it. Okay. So what you can see is that if I just change this to suppose 1.5 was the default, if I just make it as 1 EM, then you can see that indentation is going to change. You can see it here. The spacing is going to change. Okay. Now, in some, just for the example, IEEE transaction is there. In that, the first paragraph that will appear, that will not have any indentation. Directly, the first letter with the capital form, it will start. So for that purpose, you can define this indentation as 0 EM also you can define. So it will not take any indentation for this, right? So we can mention it as per the journal style, you can do it. So as of now, I'm mentioning it as 4 EM. So you can see that some particular indentation has been taken over here. Now, if you wanted to make this content as a right alignment, left alignment, or we wanted to appear this paragraph at the center of this, already we have seen that we can use the command as begin center I can use, and end center, whatever the content, I will put it over here between begin center and end center. So you can see that all the content will appear in the center in the document. Now, if you wanted to have the left alignment, so for that purpose, what you do here, you just use the command as begin flush left. I will use flush left, and at the end also I need to use the end flush left. I'm using this command over here. So you can see that now the alignment is going to change. The overall content in the document, it is going to be left justified. If you wanted to have the right justification for this content, what you can do, you can just type it over flush, and you can type it here flush right over here, and I will also add it over here. If you just recompile it, so overall content will be the right justified. Okay, so this is the way we can control the paragraph properties. We can control it. So as of now, we have seen that how we can have the control on the indentation in the paragraph, how to create the paragraphs. That first of all we have seen. Now we wanted to have the control on the alignment of that paragraph, whether it should appear in the center, whether it should be left aligned, or whether it should be right aligned. We can do with these properties. We can have the control on the paragraphs. Now, if you wanted to have the control on the spacing between the paragraphs, so how you can do it? So that also we can have control on the spacing between the paragraphs. So if you wanted to have the length parameter that characterizes the paragraph spacing is nothing but backslash PR skip. That will basically control the spacing between the paragraphs. So this determines the space between a paragraph and the preceding text. So what we will do, we will use this command, that is backslash set length in the curly braces slash PR paragraph skip, and we will define the unit as 1 EM. We are going to define. You can define by your choice 2 EM, 3 EM, 4 EM. Also, you can do it as per your choice. You can do it. So I will just add this into the chat box. Okay, so what I will do, I will just add here one command, set length paragraph skip 1 EM, and I will add this content over here. So you can see that the paragraph spacing is now 1 EM. If I change this to the 4 EM, that also I can do it. You can see that now the spacing between the paragraphs has been adjusted. Okay, so just for our simplification, I will just remove these commands over here. Okay, once again we will recompile it, right? So you can see that we are able to now control the spacing between the paragraphs. Also, we are able to control it. Okay, so this is the way you can have the control on the paragraphs. So initially we have seen that how to create the paragraph, that we have seen. Basically, one line you can mention, one line gap you can keep, or separate command also you can use that purpose. After that, we have seen that how you can have the control on the alignment of that paragraph, right alignment, left alignment, or whether you want it to appear in the center, that we have seen. Now, if you wanted to have the control on the spacing between the paragraphs, by default, the class file will adjust it. If you're not using it, if I'm not using this, it will be taken as per the class file, it will happen. But now, if I wanted to have the control, now you can see that there is no spacing between these two paragraphs. Okay, it will be compiled according to the class file. But now we wanted to have the control of this, so therefore we are using one specific command for this purpose, so that it will appear 4 EM unit below that first paragraph. So with this, now we have finished the discussion on the paragraphs. Now we will move to the next discussion. Okay, now if you wanted to have the all, we are discussing this because we wanted to have to control on the content which is appearing in the document. Now for an example, if you wanted to insert some horizontal space in the document, for that purpose you can make use of a command \h space. Means you wanted to have that much horizontal space. So this command will basically insert a horizontal space whose length is 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter space will be created in the document. Now, if you wanted to insert a blank space, for that purpose, you can make use of a command that is \hfill. Also, you can use it for that purpose. So it will insert a blank space that will stretch accordingly to fill the space available. You can also make use of the commands that is hrulfill and \fill and do the same as hfill, but instead of blank spaces, they insert a horizontal ruler. Means what hrulfill will do? It will insert on horizontal line inside the document, and the \fill, it will basically insert the string of dots in your document. Okay, so that is the difference between the \hrulfill and \dot_fill. So what we will do, we will go to the overlay and we will see that how we can use these commands in your LaTeX document to have the horizontal spacing. So we wanted to have the control in the LaTeX document. We will see in the overlay. So once again, we will go to the overlay. Okay. So now in this, what we will do, we will mention some horizontal space over here. For an example, here the sentence is mentioned and this papers provides an. If I just wanted to have this paper provides, if I wanted to have some horizontal space, so I will use the command horizontal space. So overlay is helping directly, the command is coming and I'm mentioning the unit as suppose 1 centimeter space I want. Once again, I will compile it and you will able to see. For an example, here in the output window, you can see that this paper provides and then horizontal space is appearing, whatever the spacing we have defined. If you wanted to have some more spacing, you can do that. You can have control on this also. So you can see that now the spacing is going to increase. Now H space will also do the job. Instead of that, you can make use of hfill also. So you can make use of the command hfill also. So if you just compiled it, so hfill will do the job. Here you can see that the spacing, horizontal spacing is available, but LaTeX will automatically do the job because here we are not mentioning the specific spacing. We are not mentioning for this command. You can also use the command that is hrulfill. For an example, if I'm using the command hrulfill here, I can use that command also. And you can see that a particular horizontal line is coming for that particular space. If you wanted to appear the content in the dotted form, string of dots, if you want that also you can do it. So I will use the command as \dot_fill I will use, and if you just recompile it once again, you can see that a string of dots is appearing in our document, right? So we just wanted to see that how we can have the control on the spacing, horizontal spacing. We were very much interested that how we can have the control on the horizontal spacing in the LaTeX document. So we have seen that you can either make use of the command that is \h space. You can mention the units there. You can make use of the command \hfill. You can use it. You can make use of the command hrulfill. Then horizontal ruler will be coming. You can, if you wanted to have the string of dots, for that purpose, you can make use of the command \dot_fill. You can use for that purpose. So with this, we conclude the discussion on the horizontal spacing. So we started the discussion with the paragraph. Now we have understood how to insert the vertical horizontal spacing. Now what we will do, we will go ahead and we will try to understand how we can have the control on the vertical spacing. As of now, we have seen that how we can have the control on the horizontal spacing. If you wanted to have the control on the horizontal spacing, how you can do that. So we will just go back to our presentation and we will see that. Okay, so vertical blank spaces, it is also very important because whenever you are writing papers in the LaTeX document, sometimes what happens is that after the figure some text is appearing. So what LaTeX will do, LaTeX will try to use the available space in a better way to adjust the figures, adjust the text in a proper form, right? But sometimes what happens is that in between the figures and your text, some unwanted space will be coming, white space will come in between. So it is recommended to remove that particular space or blank space. If you wanted to remove it, for that purpose you can make use of the commands that is nothing but \vertical space, right? So if you wanted to have the control on the vertical space in the LaTeX document, you can make use of command vertical space. In bracket we are mentioning the units as 5 mm, so it will insert a vertical space whose length is 5 millimeters. We can also make use of command that is \vfill. That also we can use. It will insert a blank space that will stretch accordingly to fill the vertical space available. We can also make use of command small skip. So small skip means what it will do, it will add a 3-point space plus or minus 1 point depending on other factors. So other factors are what is the document type, what is the available space. Based on that it will be decided. You can also make use of mid skip. It will add a space of 6 point plus or minus 2 points depending on the document type and the available space. If you wanted to have some larger spacing, you can make use of the command \big skip. Also you can use for that purpose. So it will add a spacing of 12 point in the document. So what we will do, we will go to the overleaf and we will see that how we can make use of these commands in the LaTeX document. So we will go to the overleaf. Okay. So now we came to the overleaf window, and what you can do here, suppose I will just remove this command for using the vertical space. So I will use the command V, then automatically overleaf is giving this command. So I need to use this. So V space, and in between I will mention the unit as suppose 5 millimeter unit I am mentioning here. So I will just compile it, and you can see that vertically space has been now adjusted between these two paragraphs. I can also make it as a 10 millimeters. So that particular vertical space will be taken, right? So now the spacing between this vertical spacing between these two paragraphs has been adjusted. You can also make use of the command that is small skip. That also you can do. For an example, I can make use of the command vfill. That also you can do it. So many other options are available in the document. For an example, if I wanted to make use of the command small skip, you can use that small skip I am using. If you wanted to have some more control on the document, you can have the big skip also. You can use it. So here I'm using the command as big skip. Okay, so you can see that now the spacing between the paragraphs has been adjusted over here. If you wanted to have this separate paragraph, just insert one line over here, blank line. So this content will be appearing in the separate paragraph. So indentation will remain the same. So now we have understood how we can have the control on the spacing between the vertical spacing between the paragraphs. We have understood. Now, if you wanted to have the control on the spacing between the lines, means if you wanted to have the control on the vertical distance between the lines in a paragraph, that also you can do it. For an example, if I just remove these commands for our purpose, just for simplification, I'm removing it. I will just add one command over here, that is set length. Set length automatically overleaf is helping us. I will just mention here one command here, that is baseline skip, and I will add the spacing for this. Now I'm using this code. I can put this inside the chat. Okay, so if you just recompile it, so you can see that 2 millimeter is not sufficient for this. So what we will do, we will give some more spacing here. So you can see that now the spacing between the lines, it is 6 millimeter. So whatever the units you will mention it over here, accordingly the spacing between the lines will be adjusted. Okay, so this also comes under the category of vertical spacing. How we can have the control on the vertical spacing in the LaTeX document. Right. So once again, we will go back to the presentation, and the next part we will try to see. Okay, so we just mentioned that units, right? Sometimes we have used the EM, sometimes we have used millimeter, sometimes we have used the centimeter, right? So these are the different lengths in the LaTeX. So in LaTeX, there are a lot of lengths which are determining various dimensions of prepared documents. So here we have described what is the meaning of each unit. So whenever you are using PT, point whenever you are using, it is basically 1/72.27 inch. That means about 0.01338 inch or 0.3515 millimeter. That particular space will be taken care. It is a millimeter, means all of you are now aware that mm is nothing but the millimeter, cm stands for centimeter, in stands for the inch. Whenever we are using the ex is nothing but roughly the height of the letter, lowercase letter x in the current font. If it is em, what will be done is that it is roughly the width of an uppercase letter capital M. That much dimensions will be taken. If it is EMU, then math unit equal to 1/18 EM, where EM is taken from the math symbols family. So basically, we wanted to have the control on the lengths in the LaTeX. So for that purpose, you can make use of this particular different units. You can use it. Okay, so we will proceed further, and paragraph indentation paragraphs we have understood. Spacing, horizontal spacing, we have understood. Lengths in the LaTeX also. So similarly, baseline skip we have used to control the vertical distance between the lines in a paragraph. So we have seen that we can have the control on the lines which are distance between the lines in the paragraph. Similarly, if you wanted to have the control on the distance between the columns, you can make use of the command that is \column separation, \column width. If you wanted to have the control on the width of a column, width of the line in the current environment, you can calculate by using the command \line width. Width of the page also you can adjust by using the command \paper width. Height of the page also you can adjust \paper height. Vertical space between the paragraphs, you can use the command \paragraph skip. Margins also you can adjust in the LaTeX document. Now, if you wanted to insert the line breaks inside the LaTeX document, sometimes it is very much necessary that we should be able to insert the line breaks, page breaks, or arbitrarily any blank spaces. If you wanted to inside the document, we should able to do it. So the most standard way how to break lines is to create a new paragraph. Whenever we wanted to have the line breaking, the simple way is that we can create a new paragraph. This is done by leaving an empty line in the code. Whenever you are inserting an empty line in the code, automatically it will create a new paragraph. Other ways are also there, means you can use \2 lines you can use. You can make use of the command \new line you can use. So that also will move the content on the new paragraph. The new line, it will move that particular content. All right. Now, if you wanted to insert the page breaks, right? So for page breaks, what you can do is that you can make use of the commands that is \clear page and \new page. You can make use of these commands. So what we will do, we will again go back to the overleaf, and we will see that how we can make use of these commands in the overleaf LaTeX document. For an example, now this is the content we have in our LaTeX document. For example, what we wanted to say is that if you wanted to bring the content on the new line, you can make use of the command \new line you can use if you wanted to have a separate paragraph for this purpose, or whenever you wanted to start the content on the new line. Two \lines also you can use for that purpose, so that content will start on the new line. Now, if you wanted to insert the page breaks, so for the page breaks, you need to make use of the commands \new page or \clear page. So these two commands will work differently. For example, if I'm using the command as new page over here, so we will see that what kind of output we are getting. So I will just minimize it. So you can see that now this is the output we are getting. The content is not going to the new page, right? So new page does start a new page. It is actually starting a new page. But what is happening is that if any floating figures and tables are there, that also are now moving below this new page environment. Means whatever the figures and tables will be there, so that can be inserted below this command, that is new page. So new page will basically give some spaces for the floating environment. For an example, tables or figures will be there, or that specific spacing will be given by this new page command. Specifically, if you wanted to start the content on the new separate page, for that purpose, what we can do is that we can make use of the command, that is \clear page. We can use for that purpose, right? So clear page has the same effect as new page. The effect is remaining the same, but what clear page will do is that it will restrict the floats as well. So new page is basically not restricting the floats. Whatever the floats will be there, for an example, tables or figures will be there. So some space will be allocated for inserting tables and the figures. But clear page is also doing the same job as that of the new page, but it will have the restriction on the floats. So what we can see in our document is that now two different pages are created over here, and this paragraph is going into the separate page. Okay. So these are the things you can do it whenever you wanted to have control of the page breaks, right? So hope so everyone has understood what is the difference between the new page and the clear page. New page means there will be no control on the floats. Clear page has the control on the floats, so that all the content will be moving onto the next separate page. The content will move. Right. So we understood the line breaks. Now we understood the page breaks also. Now we will move further and we will try to understand how we can do the text formatting. Text formatting means if this text now we have, if you wanted to make this content in the italic form, how we can do it. If you wanted to make this text into the bold form, if you wanted to underline one specific content in this text, how you can do it. If you wanted to emphasize any particular content in this paragraph, how you can do it. So now we are specifically discussing the text formatting. In the text formatting, we will discuss how to make the text italic, how to make the text in the bold form, how to underline a specific words in that paragraph, or how we can emphasize one particular text in the paragraph. So whenever we wanted to make text into the italic form, for an example, this paper provides hereafter I wanted to make the content in the italic form. So for that purpose, you need to make use of command, that is text id, means text should be in the italic form. So this particular content I will add in the italic form. So this content I will copy it and I will put it in this curly braces, text italic, and that content I will put it in the curly braces. So you can see that in our output now, this paper provides an overview of the content from an overview to the up to the technologies. This particular content is now appearing into the italic form, right? So sometimes it is very much necessary in our document that whatever our output PDF output will be there, in that we should able to give your output. Some of the text should be in the italic form, some of the text should be in the bold form, color also should be there. So that properties can be controlled in the text itself. Now for an example, if I wanted to make this text in the bold form, so for that purpose text bf command you can use for that purpose, and you can see that an overview of the Internet of Things with emphasis on enabling technologies. This now content is appearing in the bold form. If you wanted to underline a specific word, suppose you wanted to underline in the document, that also you can do it. For example, Internet of Things is important words here. Suppose I wanted to underline it, so what I will do, underline and one curly brace I will put it here, and that curly brace I will complete it here. So this now I wanted to underline. So here you can see that Internet of Things, that particular text has been getting underlined. Now, one separate command is also there if you wanted to emphasize any specific content. For an example, if I wanted to use the emphasize command, you can just make use of emph. So if you just execute it, what you can see is that that particular text now it is getting emphasized. Means Internet of Things we have used in the curly braces, Internet of Things. So that particular content is now appearing in the italic form, right? So emphasize means Internet of Things is getting emphasized here. So what you can say is that emphasized is playing the same role as that of italic text, italic form. No, both are different. So emphasize is used within an emphasize environment, then it will remove that particular highlighted part. For an example, to understand the difference between the emphasize and the text italic format, what I will do here, we will define one command, suppose emphasize, and I will just mention some sentences over here that text that is emphasized, comma, and I will do that. One more emphasize, I will use it over here, but \emph and one word I will mention here, I'm not. So some text I'm mentioning over here, if we just, so what you can see is that in the emphasize environment, one more emphasized we have used here, right? So this particular content text that is emphasized, but so as you can see that this content is appearing in the italic form, but one more emphasized we have used it here. So this particular word that is not, it is not emphasized, it is appearing in the normal font. The not is appearing in the normal font itself. Again, now is there outside this emphasized, so that is again appearing in the italic form, it is appearing. But if you do this in the text italic form, then what will happen, that we will just see it once. So if you just use the text italic form, so command, suppose I am using it here, text italic over here, and here also I will use the text italic, right? So I will just compile it, and what we will see the output. So what you can see is that all the content is appearing in the italic, right? So this is the difference between the emphasize and text italic. Whenever we wanted to have the control on the specific words has to be emphasized, then you can make use of the command \emph that is emphasized. Okay, so hope so everyone has understood how we can deal with the text formatting. Now we will move on and we will try to understand that how we will able to control the font sizes in the LaTeX document. How we can have the control on the font sizes. So there are some standard fonts are defined in the LaTeX. We will see that how we can have the control on it. For an example, suppose here we are mentioning one command, that is, suppose I'm mentioning the command as tiny and I'm mentioning the word as document. So if we just compile it, so you can see that font has been defined for this particular word, that is document. So by default, these commands will have the specific font size for that word. For an example, some another commands also we can use. For an example, here suppose we are using the command as script size. If I'm using, so you can see that some font will be a little bit larger on this. If you want to bring the content on the next line, you can just insert 2 lines here. So then we can use another command also. For example, footnote size also I can use it here. So you can see that this also we can bring it to the new page, new line, sorry. Then you can make use of the command that is small here. I will type the same Word document here. If you just compile it. Okay, so you can see that \small and the word is document. So many other commands are there. For example, \normal size. \normal size, you can mention the same word. So as now we have used the command as clear page, so it is appearing on the next page. If you wanted to have a very large font, for that particular purpose, you can make use of the command large. So we can have the control on the font sizes of the specific words by using these commands. You can have the control on these words. So once again, we will go back to the presentation and we will see that what are the next things we wanted to see. So the page breaks already we have seen. Text formatting also we understood how to mention the text in the italic, bold form, underline, how we can emphasize it, and we also understood the difference between the emphasizing and the how to make the text italic. The difference also we understood. Font sizes, how we can control. So these are the different commands you can use for that purpose. Page formatting also we can do, means if you wanted to set the margins or the font size, if you wanted to have control on that, you make use of the package that is nothing but the geometry. For that purpose, a specific package is dedicated and you need to make use of that package, that is geometry. Then coming to the next discussion, how to create the different sections and subsections in the LaTeX document. It is not that much complicated. Every paper will have different sections and subsections, right? So how we can control how we can create the sections and subsections in the LaTeX document, that we will see. Whenever you are creating the section, for that purpose, you need to mention the command as \section. If you wanted to create the subsection inside that section, then you just mention the command as \subsection command you define. It is that simple. So it will be automatically creating the sections and the subsections. So what we will do, we will go to the overleaf and very quickly we will try to see that how we will able to create the sections and subsections in the LaTeX document. Okay, for an example, this is the first content, abstract is there. After that, suppose we will mention our first section. So first section means you need to use the command \section, and suppose I'm mentioning the section as introduction. So if you just compile it, you will able to see that introduction has been created over here. So this is the first section is created here, and it is appearing in the Roman letters because it will take as per the class file. Now, if you wanted to mention one more section here, so what I will do, I will just enter one more command, that is section, and I will change the name of that section. For an example, any name you can give. Suppose I'm giving a name to this section. Suppose market opportunity, a name I'm giving. So in this document, then you will be able to see that two separate sections are created now. Okay, so you can see that one is abstract, then introduction is the first section, and market opportunity is a separate section. What you can observe here is that the introduction, all the letters are appearing in the capital letters. It is also for the second section also it is the same. So it is as per the class file. Some of the journals only the first letter will be capital. So that depends on the journal style. Now, if we wanted to create the subsection, then how we will proceed? Suppose inside this market opportunity, I wanted to create some subsection. So for that purpose, you use the code subsection, and I will mention the subsection here as, for an example, I will mention it as IoT architecture. And if you just recompile it, so you will able to see that a separate subsection is now created. So whatever the section and subsections we are able to create, so all this information is also available in the outline. On the left hand side you can see it. So as per the IEEE transaction class file, the subsection is named with a letter, that is capital A. If you just create one more subsection after this, so if I'm creating one more subsection here and some name I can give to this subsection here, for an example, application layer I'm mentioning here. So here you can see that a separate subsection will be created here, and that will be named as B. Okay, so this is the way you can have the control on the sections and subsections in the LaTeX document, right? So other sections after this, suppose I wanted to have one more section here. So that also I can do. Suppose to this I'm giving some name here, IoT elements. I'm mentioning one name here. So one separate section will be created. So IoT element is a third section created. Now, if you wanted to make this all sections and subsections in the table of contents, so that also you can do it. So for that purpose, what you can do is that after the begin document command is there. So after the begin document, you just enter the command \table of contents, \table of contents, and then you will see that a table of content will be created. Now our text has been moved on the second page. So based on our sections and subsections, a table of content has been prepared. So first section is the introduction, which is appearing on the second page. Second section is the market opportunity. It is also on the second page. For this, the subsections are IoT architecture, application layer. Then the third section is nothing but the IoT elements. Right? Okay. So we understood regarding the sections and subsections. Now we will see that in the earlier discussion, when we started the discussion for this session, we said that if you wanted to mention the specific points in the bullet form, how you can do it. So creating the list in the LaTeX document. So just for brief time, 2 minutes, we will go to the presentation and we will see that what are the types of list we can create in the LaTeX document. So list is basically, there are two types, ordered list and unordered list, right? So for the unordered list, you can just make use of the command that is \begin itemize. You can use it for the unordered. Unordered is nothing but the unnumbered. Okay, so that is nothing but the unordered list. You can create it. If you wanted to create the ordered list, for that purpose, you can make use of the command that is \enumerate. You can use for that purpose to create the ordered list, right? So what we will do, we will first of all try to create the unordered list in the LaTeX document. So we will go to the overleaf and we will see that how we can create it. So here, if I just begin itemize and end itemize I have used, and after that I am using the two sentences, that is one entry in the list, it is the first item, second is another entry in the list. So you can see that two items has been created inside this section. Now section is IoT elements. Inside this we have created two different items we have created. It is in the unordered form. So if you wanted to have in the ordered form, so what we can do is that you can just make use of the command that is begin enumerate. You can use, and so here it is coming, and what I will do, I will just copy this here and I will enter it here. So that is nothing but the ordered list. So this is the difference between the unordered and ordered list. So the second one is our ordered list, right? So hope so everyone has understood what is the difference between the unordered list and what is the ordered list. Now we can also create a nested list. Okay, nested list means what? If you wanted to have the mixed, if you wanted to have the combination of the itemized and the enumerate environment, if you wanted to have the combination of both of this, you can do that. So that is basically known as the nested list. For an example, what I will do, I have just mentioned here begin enumerate, and these two items I have mentioned it here. What I will do, I will just copy this. I will just copy this content here and I will add it here. Okay, and then we will see that what kind of list now it is created. So you can see that the first of all we have created the enumerate environment is there, and after this it is creating in the bullet form, right? After this, suppose one more entry, suppose I am mentioning here the third, I'm just typing some content here, so you can see that. So now you can see that clearly this is the nested list because it is the combination of enumerate environment and the itemized environment. So these first two entries are as per the enumerate, then we have used the itemized environment, so these are coming in the bullet form. Then we have ended this end itemized we have used, so itemized environment is getting ended there. Then we are using the item for the enumerate environment. So third entry is coming over here. Okay. So ordered list also you can create it. Ordered list also you can create combinations of enumerate and itemize. Unordered list also you can create it. So for that purpose, I will just go to the presentation quickly, and I will just show it to you how you can create the long order and unordered list, how you can create it. For an example, we will take this example here. Okay, we will take this. I will put this in the chat also. Okay, and what we will do, we will edit this in the overlay, and we will try to see that what kind of list is now generated by this. Okay, so I will remove the other list, nested list that we created. Just need to have the clear visualization. Okay, so here what you can see is that first of all we have used the enumerate first level item here. So this is coming in the number form 1 2 3 4 5 in the sequence. After that also we are using one more enumerate environment we are using. So that particular text is appearing in the form as A B, right? A B C D, small a B C D. Then also another enumerate environment we are using. So it is coming in the form as Roman letters like first and second. Then we are using the fourth level of listing. Then it is coming as capital A and capital B. So it is a standard which is defined by the class. If you wanted to change the sequence, then that also you can do it. Similarly, unordered list also we can create it, right? So this is the example of the ordered list. We have seen it. So what we can say is that for the level 1 it is taken as the Arabic number, for the level 2 it is taken as the lowercase letters, then level 3 it is lowercase Roman numeral, for the level 4 it is taken it as uppercase letters. Okay, you can change it, you can have the control on that levels also, you can have the control. Then unordered list also I can create it. Means similar to the ordered list, unordered list will consist of the this particular code we can use for that purpose. I will just put this in the chat over here. I will also include the content in the overlay, and we will see that what kind of list we are able to create. So after this, you can see that the first one, these are basically the ordered list, and whatever the list now created over here, it is basically the unordered list. So clearly you can see that for the unordered list, different labels are used in case of unordered. In case of ordered, different labels are used for giving the list in the output. Right. So we will see that what is the meaning of that particular labels in case of unordered representation. So unordered, level 1 is the text bullet, then text dash will be used, text asterisk will be used in the level 3, then the text period centered will be used in case of level 4. If you wanted to change the sequence, that also you can do it. Okay. So available styles for the numbers are lowercase letters are available, uppercase letters are available, Arabic numbers are there, lowercase Roman numerals are there, uppercase Roman numeral are there. Right. So once again, we will just see how we started our discussion. So once again, I will go back to the PDF of what we have seen in the earlier discussion. So that will basically help you to understand. Okay, so with this we started. All right, with some sample paper we have taken, and how to prepare the title, how to mention the author names, how to mention the abstract in the document. Index terms also you can mention. Below that you can create one command for this. Index terms also you can mention. How to create the section. Now this is a section over here. Now here there is no indentation for this particular class file IEEE transaction. So this is the first para. Second para, indentation is there, right? How we can control this? If you're not using, by default it will take. If you wanted to have control on it, you can do that. So these are the paragraphs are created. How to include the figures, that will be covered in the separate sessions. We were very much interested in understanding how to create the sections. So this is the second section created over here. Third section is created here. Under this section, how to create the separate section. subsection, how to create it, that also we have seen it. Then how to mention, how to put the text into the bullets form or specific forms if you wanted to mention the content, that also you can do it, right? Here also itemized environment has been used so that you can have this representation in the document, right? So once again we will go back to the presentation, and we will see that how much we have covered in this session. Okay, so the agenda for this session was to have the discussion on the overleaf, and we wanted to have the discussion on the document structure. So initially some 15-20 minutes we have spent on understanding the overleaf, what are the different templates are available in the overleaf, and as the FDP will progress, you will more understand, you will have more understanding related to the overleaf. Okay, so standard templates are available, you can make use of it. Then we started the discussion on the how we can create a simple document in the LaTeX. So that we have seen 4-line code we have seen. Then we understood what is the meaning of article class, that document class we wanted to understand, that we have seen what are the packages, how we can deal with the text formatting, then the listing, how we can do it, how we can create the sections and subsections, how we can create the paragraphs. Chapters creation is similar to the kind of paragraphs we can do it. So I hope that all the participants are now able to use the overleaf, and they are now able to write the codes in the overleaf, and try to they are able to see the output which is generated in the PDF form, right? So hope so the session was useful to everyone, and we have seen the important details related to the document structure. All the details are not possible to cover. The remaining sessions are there for that purpose. So every session you will have some more understanding, more knowledge you can gain, you can have in the next sessions. So with this, I will stop it. So Anup sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful session on overleaf explanation and document structure. I hope participants gain knowledge about document structure and overleaf explanation. We got so many responses and appreciating comments on our chat box. So definitely it was a very phenomenal session. So with this informative session, I would like to thank our supporting faculty and scholars, Dr. Neha Gupta and B. Anil Kumar, as well as Saheb God, for supporting throughout the session. Now at this stage, if any participant wants to talk, or if you have any personal view for asking from our resource person, they can unmute yourself and ask any query. Not related to technical, any type of things you can ask related to the overleaf, if you have. I hope all those queries are already clear in the chat box. Through the chat box, those things are already over. Okay, because sir, so now we are going to conclude the session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
Okay.
I will stop sharing the screen.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I'm very much thankful to Anup sir, then Neha madam, then Arun and Saheb God for helping in this session, for clearing the doubts from the participants. Thank you.
Thank you, participants, for your patience, how you have interactively attached here over the session. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to end the meeting.